Okay, here we go. We're back on Virtual Pool 4 online, and it's coming up to the top of the hour. It's 11 PM at night, British summer time, and luckily I'm on my first day off, and I've got another day off, so I don't need to get up early, and we're going to manage to get this match in. It's a round 2 match in this year's VP4 10 Ball World Championships, and it's going to be between Senny and REELPOLANDPOWER, or Stub as I'm going to call him. Senny from Scotland, REELPOLANDPOWER with a Polish flag, but as far as I'm aware he's from the States, and this could be volatile. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know what's going to happen in this match. Stub is the strong favourite. This match might finish, it might not finish, goodness knows what will happen. But the room is up, the two players are in, they've probably lagged off, or they're about to. I'm trying to get in the room. Well, this is a good start. Right, we're in, so the first thing I'm going to have to do is change the colour of that cloth to blue. And Senny won the lag. Another reminder, it is alternate break. And the one thing's for certain, that if Senny puts his mind to it, he'll certainly put up a bit more of a fight than what Stub had in his first round match. Playing a VP4 rookie in the first round, Stub won 14 racks to 1. And the main goal for Senny is not to play into Stub's hands. He's got to keep it tight. So we'll see if he uses any of this common sense. Good evening and welcome. I think many players or many potential spectators have gone to bed at this time of night in the UK. Senny plays the bank. He's going to have to play the jump to get to the 2. Now, I've seen this in times gone by where Senny has disappeared during a tournament match. So that's why I'm saying potentially strange things could happen in this match, or it could all go okay, but I've just got the feeling something weird's going to go on. Might be my imagination, but I'm going from long-term experience here. So Senny got the jump, but he didn't get the 2 safe. So here is Stub's opportunity to run out this rack. And it really is all about getting good in the 4 by the look of it. Well, he's going to have to come back. Well, that's what I'm saying. Goodness knows what could happen. Senny's a very strange character. Apart from the fact he's Scottish, but very strange. And Stub's a nutcase, so when you put 2 of those type of characters together, you have a very volatile mixture. So it's going to be the 7-9 combo to keep the run going. 9 ball called. Again, a reminder, 10 ball is a call shot game. All combination shots and bank shots should be called. And as I always say, present company included in the spectators, whenever you are kicking a ball in 10 ball, get into the habit of calling a pocket when you play a kick shot, because you could always fluke it. It's something you really should always be in a habit of doing. We never saw it in any of the matches until we got the two experienced players playing last night, Bedhead and Larry, and both of them had no problem when they were playing a kick shot. They automatically called a pocket. It's a force of habit if you played 10 ball. If you haven't, then you will soon learn once you do the first kick, and lo and behold it goes into a pocket that you never called, and you have to miscall. So anyway, Stubb is off the mark, and Stubb has broken against the break, won the rack against the break, and he's come up dry. Well, Senny got lucky there. Yeah, I'm up late because it's my first day off this week, so I've got another day off tomorrow, so it doesn't matter what time I get to bed tonight. The only problem I have is just staying awake, and hopefully that should be the case. Senny needs to be careful here. Danger of the double kiss like that, but he's got away with it again. Well, Stubb had no problem once he got the measure of the level of play that he played, that the guy played in his first match. The guy was a complete rookie at VP4, and had no problem. So once Stubb gets the measure of you, and he knows what standard you are, he'll open up and become a little more carefree. He knows not to be as loose playing Senny, although he's still hot favourite to win. Chances like this are where Senny needs to get himself off the mark by running a rack, and at least letting Stubb know that, you know, he's going to be capable of doing it. And there's no excuse for not running this rack when you look at these balls. It's just plain common sense and sensible shooting that will get the job done. The only problem that Senny has is going up and down the table here with these next 3 shots. So he's got the 6, down the bottom of the table for the 7, back up the table for the 8, roll the 9 into the left middle, and roll through for the 10 into the right middle. It's so simple looking. And to do that, he has to just get good on the 8 ball. He just has to drop the 8 ball in and not let that cue ball escape. Now if he drops in, he just wants to sort of run over here, anywhere in this area. And he's gone beyond it, and the further he goes, the more the cue balls run away, but I think he's okay. I think he's fine. So this is what Stubb didn't have in his first match. Somebody who could at least string 3 and 4 balls together and actually win a rack. So this is a good way of responding for Senny. And we're at 1 rack all. The break goes back to Senny, and it's another dry break. And Stubb calling the 1 ball into the middle, looking for the kick. And he's just looking to see how far that 1 ball is past the point. This is slim odds of it going in because it was really on the point. Well, he'll settle for that because, well, Senny needs to call the 4 as the billiard, if that's what he's playing, and he hasn't called it. And you could say it's more than obvious, but Stubb is pointing out a genuine fact there, and this is what I said about being volatile. Senny's going to turn around and say, oh, you know, it's obvious, and then you're going to have arguments, and that's what I mean about a volatile mixture. And I'm not going to get involved. I'm just going to stay well out of it. Things like that are what's going to irritate Stubb if this was down to the business end of the rack. And then you're going to get the toys thrown out the pram, and it's all going to go tits up, as I say. With combos, billiard shots, jump shots, you have to call them, and that way you don't get yourself involved in any argument. It was Senny was the one that didn't call the shot. Anyway, back to the game. Senny's out of line on the 6. Oh, did he? I never even noticed that. I missed that one. I was too busy reading the chat on the screen, you know, in the in-game chat rather than looking up. He did miss call. Well, that's fair enough. Well, Stubb, I don't know what he's planning on here. The 7 does go. He could be calling the... Well, he's playing the cut. And he's going to run into this 10. And if he hits it solid, he's going to have nothing but a bank probably on the 8 ball. And he's missed the 7. And surely he's not going to hook him behind the 10. Well, no, he isn't. So here's Senny's chance to steal another rack here. He has to get the spin on this to get this cue ball away from that corner. He's playing lots of inside left to punch it down. Now this is going to go nowhere, I think. Needs to keep going. Well, straightforward choice. He's going to look at a thin cut. Yep. He was never going to get that. Needed to be much thinner, so he's had his chance, and now it's a, well, pretty much a gift for Stubb. So this for 2 racks to 1. There's approximately a 2-second delay from the live match to the actual stream. I'm looking at it on my second monitor just to see what the quality's like, and it is approximately 2-second delay. So we're into rack number 4. And this is as good a chance as any for Stub to open up the gap for the first time. Always better to finish on the inside of the 9 ball here if you can roll the 8 dead weight. If he finishes slightly in the end, well, he's actually gone straight. So now he's got to work the cue ball a bit here, or he just rolls through and leaves the more awkward cut in the 10. I think he's just too straight. He just decided to play it safe and roll through. When I say the inside there, the ball was there, for example, he wanted to be playing it from that way the cue ball's going this way to make it easier on the 10. Should still get this though. So the break goes back to Senny. Makes such a big difference, this alternate break, because of course Senny's broke, came up dry and left a 1-2 combo here as a starter for Stub, and once again these balls are sitting pretty good. The only problem ball or potential problem ball is the 3 ball, which may end up as a combo onto the 4. And of course straight away Stub has a problem because he's trying to thin cut this 1. I don't know whether he can get there, and I don't think he thinks he can either. He's looking to see if the 9 will combo, so he's looking to kick the 1 onto the 9. Well, you can see it's nowhere near set. I don't think he can make the angle on that corner. He's trying to. I think he can get the kick right now. And the cue ball collides with the 9, brings it out into play. And Senny still got the same problem Stub would have had in dealing with this 3 ball. And the other problem as well is he's got to try and get out of that bunch of balls up the top end of the table to get a sight in the 3. Well, he's come round. I think this is going to end up locked out. Easy enough to jump the 3. And if he gets this, if for some reason he would manage to pot that 3, the cue ball's going that way. It may well run into the 6, or it might finish behind the 6. Now, what pocket did he call that in there? Did he call that in the middle? If he called that in the middle and that's what he's potted, that's a brilliant shot. Well, that's shot of the tournament so far that I've just seen there. That was superb. Now, it's all very well playing shots like that, but you've got to back yourself up and run out, and now he's run right out of shape. And this will jump. It's a long jump. You've got to get that angle of the cue right and not too high. And that was well played. Well, what a bonus here for Senny after that cut that he played. If he can run this rack out, that needs to keep going. If he stuns this too much, if he hits it hard, he could run into that middle pocket, so he's avoided that. And already this is actually so early in the match, but what an important rack from that cut shot that he played. And he's missed it 8, but he's missed it good. Well, it's easy just to cut the 8 along the rail and bring the cue ball back across. It would leave the potential of a bank. He's trying to cover behind the 10, and he's not a bad effort at it. Senny can still do the same thing, just a very thin feather, and bring that cue ball across. Well, I think I would be reining myself in here and playing the safety rather than going for something like that. That's like a 1 out of 10 shot to cut that at that angle and that distance, and that's just thrown it away. After all that effort and the potential to pinch the rack, he's just gifted it to Stubb. Although Stubb's got to either play it again. He's playing it safe. He's not letting the cue ball run. He's preferring to leave the high cut. I think Senny's going along with the idea of just going for whatever he sees. Well, that ain't going to work. That just was calling out for a half decent safety, and just bide your time. It's always the same thing. You've got to pick and choose the time to go for your shots, and that wasn't it. And so now it's 4-1 to Stubb. 2 ball has gone on the break, and he's playing the billiard from the 1 on to the 10, and this is a bonus if this went in. But again, shots like the shot that Senny played in that 8 ball there, it's going to take the pressure off Stubb, even though Stubb is in the lead. He's just going to open up a bit more. Well, that's the whole idea. You have to use everything in your armoury to keep yourself in the match. And I mean that I don't think there's anybody who has an ounce of common sense would have went for that cut. I mean, it was so easy to get the thin cut and potentially come back behind the 10 ball and let Stubb deal with the problem. Well, Senny's got his chance again, but looking at the way the 5-9 is set up, it's going to be a difficult run out. And he's got that wrong. Now Stubb's going to try and... Well, he's calling the reverse bank. I thought he was looking for the safety behind the 10 and the 7 ball up in the top right hand corner. But he's just going all out for it. And he's knocked a 4 in. How's he finished though? And Stubb, if he can avoid hitting the 9, might try and get this very thin and come across. Yep, that's along the grounds of the shot that Senny should have played on that 8 ball. And Stubb hasn't got it covered. Now this is a much easier shot, this 5 ball, compared to what Senny was going for in the previous rack. But this time he's going for the bank. He's got to think about that 6 ball though. Well, the 5 definitely isn't going straight. So he's called a 5-8 combo. And no real way of knowing where this 5 ball's going to end up. But it's going to end up going back up the table. And wouldn't you believe it, I think he's got away with that. That's well, it's going to be kicked in. And this is where Senny should really have Stubb in trouble here. Again, he's calling the billiard from the 5 on to the 10. I think it's from the 5 on to the 10. A good effort at it. But again, he had a good chance to have Stubb tied up. You got to find ways to get inside your opponent's head. And frustration is one way of getting inside their head. Get them locked up and do it more than once and make it difficult for them. Don't be playing into their hands. That should be the rule. So, Stubb out with the jump stick. And this time, he's not got away with it. A natural angle with maybe a little bit of help and spin off this 5 ball to get down into that right hand corner. He needs to be careful with the pace though. Oh, that's going to finish up nice if it misses a 6. Well, it's just clipped it. And of course the other thing is he can pot that 6. The 7 will go. The 7 will drop in. But he wanted to be more or less looking down the barrel of a gun on this 7 ball. Any distance off that rail, it's going to clip the 8. If he doesn't get this sweep. Well, it's clipped it and it's went in. Needs to avoid hitting the 10. And everything's been played out of line here. And it's got to be the bank on the 9. This is crucial, this bank shot at 4-1 down. That was well done. And we had a match earlier on today that I was all set up to stream. And I had the sneaking suspicion that someone might not turn up. It was CTP against that guy, whatever his name was, Guada, what, the long name. And the guy with the long name turned up, and the one thing that's wrong with this NRT tournament that Tin has set up is the fact that he's got a 30-minute timeout on a match, and that poor guy was here about an hour before the match started, dropping in and out to check and see if his opponent was here. He came in and he sat in that room for half an hour waiting at timing out, and that's just crazy. The timeout should be 10 minutes. If you've arranged a time with your opponent for the match, the 10-minute timeout is more than sufficient for you to get online and get into the room. Having somebody waiting 30 minutes for nobody to turn up is stupid. So anyway, CTP got forfeited and the other guy got moved through to the next round. So Senny's back to within 2. Stubb looking to get up the table onto that 4. Well, he's left that way short, but he's found a gap. It's a straightforward draw, this one. Well, that's gone wrong. This has got to be thin. And I think it might be so thin that he'll be well away from the 10 ball. So Stubb, I'm going to widen the gap again, back to 3 racks. It's 5-2. And of course the other thing is, Stubb has now got the break. 10 ball has gone down, couple other balls have gone. 10 ball gets respotted, and he's got a shot in the 1, and he's going to have a 3-9 combo to follow. Well, now he's got to make his mind up what he's doing here. If he spins to the right, well, played it with inside. 4 ball goes past the 6. I never had a look. Oh, there's plenty of room. I thought it was a bit tight. So it's looking easy at the moment here for Stubb, and this is making it even more important and puts pressure on Senny that whenever he gets a chance, he's going to feel more and more inclined to have to go for it. And that may well just play straight into Stubb's hands. With the standard of these two players, Stubb is very much more likely to run a table than Senny is. So it's now 6-2. And break. Going back to senny. 3 ball goes in. He's got a 1 ball into the middle. He'll be on the 2. He'll have no problem with the 4 or the 5. Once again though, thinking ahead here, he wants to be on the inside of that 5 ball. Inside, I mean closer to the rail. That way it's simple to come out and get on that 6. And this is where, well, of course, the other problem he's got is he's hooked himself in the 4. And he might block himself out in the 5 here with this jump shot. And he's missed the 4. And the worst possible outcome there would have been the scratch. So he's pretty much got away with it. But again, it's so easy just running out of line. And senny's chance is gone. Well, Stubb looking for the safety. He hasn't got it. And senny's got another chance. And it's the same scenario as before. He needs an angle on that 5. And now he's gone the other way. And he's hooked himself again. So it's going to be the billiard call on the 7 from the 5. And he just has to hope that if he gets this, that the 5 ball comes into play. He's hit it too thick. And once again, he's got away with it. So you're not going to get that many more chances, senny. You've had 2, blown the 2 of them. And this time, Stubb has got him in more severe trouble. He could potentially kick that 5 in. There's enough room. There's enough room on that 5 to go as close as you can to that 6, kick the rail and kick the 5 in. And he almost got there. But this time though, I think Stubb can see enough of the 5 to cut it. Now, how does this look? Well, that is thin. He may well play the bank. Yeah, it's much more well set for the bank shot than it is for trying to play a very thin cut. He's odds on to get this. Well, he's changed his mind. I think he thinks it's going to be a double bank. Or am I reading that wrong? You know he's going for the cut. And he's played it well in the end. And now this is the awkward shot. Getting on that 8 ball. As long as he finds the gap between the 10 and the rail, he's fine. And it's just sneaked out. That could have went all wrong, but he had the pace right. Missed the 10. And now he can go whatever way he wants to get on this 10. Can go off the top rail and back up the table or drop in behind it. And senny's now had 2 chances in that rack, never took them. And it's now going to be 7-2. This is where the pressure's put on the underdog so much that they know they have to take chances when they get them, and the pressure's on Senny so much to do something. And where he's fallen short is in the positional play and getting shape. So into rack number 10. Stubb has called the 2 into that far corner. Stuns onto the 7, knocks it over the far corner pocket, and line pretty good in that 3 just to drop onto the 4. Now there's still a potential for this to go wrong. He's got to get on the 5 good here, and if it's just a dead weight with inside, well, he can't hold for the 5 from that 4. He's got a much narrower cut on the 4. So now the cue ball's going to be running. It will go in past the 7. There's half a pocket there, but he's content to play things at distance. Well, it's got to be dead weight on this 6 ball, because the 6 ball could escape to the top rail here. He's got to get this spot on with as least pace as he could, and that's what's happened. The 6 ball's escaped and it's on the top rail. And once again, he's deciding he's going for it. He's got to hit this with a lot of pace to get the cut, and also get the pace in the ball to run along that rail. Yeah, it's just squirted away. How's his luck? Well, that would have to be a little massy to try and cut that 6. A very soft massy. Well, he's going to have to ride his luck, and he ain't going to. He played that cut there, and I don't think there was enough of that ball shown to make the cut. And it's a chance that has gone, albeit a very slim chance there. Well, this is a blind pocket shot. And that's what happens. Very easy to overcut them. But can Senny take the advantage? It's pretty straight, so he can stun it in and run along to the right here and leave himself the... Well, he's just let it run in, and that's got the cue ball out a bit more, and that's not bad. And it's just bits and pieces that Senny's getting. His best chance to win a rack so far, and the problem with that is he's already 7-2 down, so he's got it back to 7-3. He's got the break. 5 ball goes in. He's got a pot in the 1, but the cue ball may well escape if he doesn't get this under control. He can easily lock himself out, and he's played it well. Little nudge onto the 8, holds him for the 2, and it might be a 6-9 combo. Far too much pace. Oh shit, I never even noticed the 4 there. I never even saw the 4. That's a brilliant shot. Oh, unlucky. I don't think he can pot. He can just nudge it. Well, he's hit that far too heavy. He had to feather that to try and hide it again behind the 7. That was a poor shot. That's the worst shot of the night, that one. Touch on him like a sledgehammer with that shot to try and play a thin safety. And again, that was a great opportunity for Senny, but he's just thrown them away. A choice here. Billiard from the 6 onto the 9, but Stubbs not interested. He's going for the bank, because that angle will take him back down for the 7 if he gets this. And Senny's going to get yet another chance. He had 2 in the last rack and blew it, and this is his second one in this rack. I'll have a quick drink. That needs to just keep going, just to give him a wee bit better angle in the 7. That looks not too bad. As long as he can avoid the 10 ball and avoid the scratch in that left middle pocket, he needs to be careful. Well, he's got that wrong as well, because I don't believe he ever played that to leave a 7, an 8-9 combo. He wanted to play that into the right hand corner pocket. Far too heavy. And now he's picked out the cut. Again, this is about struggling just to finish things off. It's so important that he gets this rack done. And look where the 10 ball is. It looks so easy, right in the middle of the table. And that looks good pace. It's almost there. And in it goes. And finally, Senny's took a chance. And the break back to Stubb. And the break is dry, so Senny still trailing by 3. Plenty of room past the 9 for the 1 ball. Cue ball's running into the 7. You're going to have to try and draw off that 7. And he's decided he's not risking it. Playing the safety. But that 1 and 9 are set, so the 9 is going to be called. So Stubb scratches. All of these balls pot. Now, why he is doing this, I don't know. Well, I think he's seen a bit of sense there. I thought he was trying to line up a 110 combo there, which was ridiculous. And where's the cue ball going? Now, what he wants here is, he wants to come back about 7 or 8 inches if he can, not too much. And he's trying to get the angle from this side. He could have used that 5 ball to spin off it and around the angles this way. If he was cutting that 3 from there, he could have spun off the 5, off the rail and down for the 4. And as it is, He then ended up having to try and thump the 3 in to make the pace in the cue ball, so he got that wrong. He got lucky though. And again, it's a second chance, so that's now going to be 3 racks in a row where Senny's had double chances to win racks. Might even be 4. But once again, he's got to avoid traffic and couldn't do it. So now it's the old hit and hope. And again, with the kick shot or the jump shot or whatever, collar pocket. Now you see, he played to cut that. And no doubt Stubb will be jumping as well. So that's Senny's chance gone again. Still trailing by 3 racks. Difficult to get up the table for this 6 ball. Cue ball's got to travel so much of a distance, and there's not a lot of pace in the cue ball off the jump. Now this time, let's have a look at it from there. Well, that will drop in. He has to try and find a gap either between the 7 and the 10. Well, I don't know, he's thinking there. I mean, look at where the 6 ball was. Was he content to leave a bank on the 6? It was. You could still thin cut that and get that cue ball up and down the table, unless he was worried more about the scratch. And once again, the chance is gone. It was a tentative effort on that 6 ball. So it's now 8-4, rack number 13. And the ball has gone in. But Senny, no luck. Locked out in the 1. He could play the jump and call the 10 and go for the cut in the 10. He might as well. He's deciding he's looking to play a push. And as I always say with push outs, if you're going to play a push out, you have to have it clear in your head exactly what you're doing and what you're giving your opponent. And also on the basis that you're more than likely going to be giving it back. Well, that is not a good push out. The 1 goes. Plenty of room past the 10 ball. And like I say, if you're going to play a push, at least make it something of value. That's of no value whatsoever, because it's just leaving Stubb in with a chance. Now, admittedly, he's gone and had a blast at it and missed it. And, well, it's going to be a combo. for the 3 ball. 1 onto the 2 onto the 3, but not too hard. See, the 1 ball's escaped again. So everyone's now just going to be scrappy here to try and do something. Now he could lock up behind the 6 here. That would be a potential safety, because the 1's not going that direction. Well, he's cut it and used the 9 to expand the pocket. Well, Stubbs think they should have called that. See, I'm keeping my nose out. I'll let the 2 of them argue the case if it comes to it. That needs to keep running. I mean, in theory, you could argue the point that he played the 1 onto the 9 as a combo and he missed the 9, but that's stretching it a bit. Clearly, the 9 made the pocket a bigger pocket, and it made the cut simpler. And again, Senny is out of line. He just simply has to take these, and he's way out. So chance after chance that Senny's had, he's missed far too many opportunities by running out of line. Am I out of sync here? It was Stubb that missed the 6. I think it's just my brain going to sleep. It's midnight. That's the other problem. Well, a good bank. It's going to have to be another good one. Now, these are more inclined to be double banks unless you get it nailed spot on. So there's always a potential for it to end up being a double bank and going into the wrong pocket. He's got to get this sweet. Well, this, again, how many crucial racks is there going to be in this match? But this is another crucial one for Senny to find a way down to this 9 ball. Now he needs a bit of luck here. Nice kiss he needs. Well, that's not bad. You couldn't expect any better out of that one, and a nice angle just to stun up for the 10. He's preferring to try and leave it in the middle. The shot there would be to stun up for the 10. Gives you a much bigger margin of error. Now he's got a slight cut into the middle. And in it goes. So he's back to within 3, and that started Stubb off now. And Stubb, to add salt into the wound, has come up dry, and now Senny's doing the thing that he shouldn't be doing, and he's responding, and this is what I knew would happen. And now we'll get cheater getting cozy. They're like 2 9-year-old kids playing pool. I knew this would happen. I could have more or less guaranteed you at the start of the match. And it only needs you only need to press one button to get Stubb off and running. Now a perfect angle here off this 3. You do nothing with the cue ball other than let it just run through. And well, I don't know what he tried there. But that's, if you're busy sitting reading the chat in a match, it's taking your eye off the ball. The best thing for anybody to do that's playing Stubb is to mute him when you're playing him, and that way you know you're not getting anything going on in your head about thinking about responding or making a wisecrack, and you're more inclined to be focused on what you're doing. So now Senny's got another chance, and far too much topspin in the cue ball is why it didn't run up the table. So now the cue ball is going all over the place here because he's got a thin cut in the 4. If he doesn't get any draw in this, he's going to scratch. If he just hits it plain ball, it's going close to a scratch. Well, he's avoided it and got no shot in the 5. And the safety here is to half ball that 5 ball on the left hand side, send it towards the 7 and try and maybe play it with a bit of right English to check the cue ball and try and sneak it behind the 6. So he's not got there. You had to play it the way I was suggesting to try and get that safer. He's got it half covered, but it's an easy jump for Stubb. Well, how lucky is he going to be there? I mean, he almost scratched. There's enough of the 6 just showing. The 8 ball's a good guide just to clip that 6. And now he has to get control of this one because it's so easy to hook yourself behind the 10. So you're just going to try and keep the cue ball out there. And he's done what I said. Commentator's eye does it again. And then Stubb has just hit a shot there without thinking because he didn't even call a pocket. And now we're going to get more chat coming backward and forward here in a second or two. Senny's got ball in hand. Is he paying attention? Yes, he is. And now we've got you should be disqualified, and all the bullshit you're ever going to see, you'll find it in any match with Stubb. And so Senny with a chance to get it back to within 2. And Senny breaking off in rack number 15. 8 ball goes in, but no shot in the 1. And difficult to play a good push out here. That's the problem with this shot. If you play a push out, there's not an awful lot of safe places to avoid giving Stubb a chance to cut or pot this 1 ball. Now sometimes the best thing to do in that situation is to tie another ball up. And well, again, a very, very poor push out. It's of absolutely no value whatsoever. And Stubb, thinking more in position, has played the long shot in the 1 and scratched the middle pocket. And here's another chance for Senny. And we're going to get more chat in a second or two. And you're going to get an awful lot more chat if Senny were to actually run out this rack. Well, you can't blame Senny for what Strub did there. That was his own mistake. Senny needs to go through in this 3-ball and back across the table. That's the right shot to play. And that's why he's missed the 3, because I don't know whether he had an awful lot of English on it, but that's the one way you're going to miss the 3-ball. And Senny's chance is gone. And once again, I don't think he's using his shot clock enough either. He needs to just settle himself and take his time over his shots. Especially the important ones like that one. Oh, Stubbs been like that for good and well for as long as I've seen him play. So important there that Senny took advantage of the situation. I think Stubbs gone too far, has he? No, I think he can just feather it. Yeah, that will go. Cue ball's going to be running all over the place, so. But he should have a shot in the 6. There's so much room in the table. Then again, he might not. Well, he's in one of the worst positions here. This is a make or break shot here for Stubb. Saying he might have a chance. He's gone for the bank. He'd get this 8 out of 10 anyway. And it goes. And it's going to need to be a thin one with a lot of drag on it. That bottom in the cue ball will take the cue ball away from the bottom corner pocket. And that might be as close as Senny's going to get in this match. It's back to a 3-rack gap. And that was against the break. Stubb breaking off. And comes up dry. Similar shot for Senny here, potting the 1 and getting that cue ball back across the table for the 2, which is tucked behind the 9. And you've got to get the pace in the cue ball to get it across. Had he missed the 5, he'd have been probably okay. It's a wee bit tight. He can chip it in. And he's not got it thin enough. And if Stubb gets this 2 and gets on the 3, then that might be Senny's last shot in this rack. Should be plain sailing here. Anywhere over by the right middle pocket. So the gap is now 4 again. And Stubb into double figures, needing 4 more for round 3. 8 balls going to drop. Oh no, it thought about it. But it's a dry break for Senny. Once again, Stubb has got himself on the 2. If he avoids the 9, he'll be over on the left hand side for that 3 into the top right hand corner. And this is another rack that should be over. Now, can he see enough of that to comfortably pot it? I don't think he can. He doesn't think. No, he can't. I thought he could see enough of it. Well, there's still a safety net there for Stubb. The 9 and 10 sort of locked together. Three ball hanging over the corner pocket here, so Senny just needs to concentrate. Sorry, the 4 ball hanging over the corner. Just had to pot the 3 and keep the cue ball in the open. Well, he's played the draw shot. He's got the desired effect by getting the split in the 9 and the 10, but look at how he's left himself in this 5, and this again is a pressure shot. It has to go, and in it goes, and has to back himself again and get this job done. Well, safest shot is just kill the cue ball stone dead. Do nothing with it other than pot the 7. Oh, I should have made this box office then, shouldn't have? Pay-per-view, I should have made it. So, 10 ball into the middle to get another one back. We're into rack number 18. Stubb breaks. And nothing goes. Now this is a much better shot for a safety, this 1 ball. Send it up the table. I think you need to cut this first. The way to play this a better safety is actually to cut the 1. Cut it onto the rail and send it that way. Well, you see that there has just opened himself up to probably something a lot tougher for Senny when he comes back to the table. You've just surrendered control to Stubb with that shot. He's left the 1 safe from that point of view, but Well, Stubbs should be playing a safety. He shouldn't be calling the 10 ball here. Far easier to have played a good safety at distance. And look at how lucky he's been. And Senny's got no way to know where this cue ball's going and where the 1 ball's going. It's easy enough to hit. And he's not going to hit a rail, so once again he's just surrendered control to Stubb. So Senny's not thinking clearly here. If he had his wits about him, he would have played a far better safety on that 1 ball rather than just calling that lame push out that he played. And it really was lame. Neither of these two guys either have any respect for any potential viewers watching this stream. They don't care about their language. And Stubb is just getting careless there. 2 careless shots. A far-fetched 1-10 combo down the rail. And a lash out of the 3 ball. That'll finish nice. If ever Senny needs to get his head screwed on, it's with this visit, and he's made a hash of the 4. Again, a poor shot. Well, this is another rat that is going to get away. Now, I wouldn't get involved with what's going on in the room. It will only make things worse. Well, Stubb played the bank there and didn't call it as far as I can see. And he has miscalled. And Senny is left for the bank on the 9. And again, this is a shot that can end up as a double bank. You have to get it sweet. And he has to watch that cue ball because he's still got to get the 10, remember. See, that's the problem. And now, well, it's off the rail. It's not a good bank from where it's sitting. So that's why he's having to try and make the cut. And another one you've just got to get right on the point of the ball. and the chance is gone. The issue there was not about making the bank. The issue was about holding the cue ball somehow to get anywhere near that 10. And the odds on that were fairly slim. So the gap has now gone back to 4. Stubb leading by 11 racks to 7. Senny breaks off. And it's dry. And this, well, might not be, because I don't think he's got a shot in the 2. Going to, what's he playing here? The thin cut. Yeah, he's got a 4 rack gap. He's quite comfortable at taking well less than 50% chance on that shot of it going in. So Senny gets a cut in the 2. Now how's he going to get a shot in this 4? Because once again this is no great position unless he puts a lot on this cue ball to get it out and into the table. Well, it's a good effort, but it's still left a tough one. And again, this is a similar shot he's had previously, getting this cut and getting the pace right to leave himself a shot in the 5. He's got a shot on it. Not easy. And that's why he's overcut it by the country mile. And again, the chance is gone. And these, a higher rated player would be taking those chances. And Stubb would be sweating. Having said that, he's done his best to get out of shape. And in it goes. Well, we know the 7 isn't going, but Senny will be in deep trouble here in a second. And the best chance Senny's got here is the kick in. Well, he didn't call the pocket. Now we know that he was going to hit the 7 and we know that he was playing to play it. But in all fairness, you've got to call them. And is that tight, that 8 ball? No, it's a couple of millimetres off the rail. 9 ball hanging over the middle pocket. It should be all over this rack. Now you can just drop this in dead weight and do nothing with the cue ball. Just leave the cue ball at the middle pocket. So Stubb now moves to within 2 of the next round, and we'll have a look at the bracket and give ourselves an update on what's happening, how things are taking shape after this match. Stub breaks off. Couple of balls going down, the 2 and the 3. Safety is called. Needed a bit more pace on it to get the one around the table there and use that 10 ball as a blocker. Well, the only way of avoiding the 9 here is the draw shot, and if he draws far enough up the table, well, he wanted more than that. He's left it awkward again, but he'll have a shot in the 6 if he plays this the right pace. But he's just set up a thin edge here, I think, on this 5. Well, Stub is scratched, and you'll never get a better chance than this now. So ball in hand to Senny. The chit chat is going backward and forward in the room. And even this shot here isn't a guarantee to get good on the 8. Far too much weight on it, and has left it very difficult on this 8 ball to keep that hug in the rail. He's played it well. Now how's his luck? It is not good. It's going to have to be a jump and try and keep that cue ball in the table. So easy for this to jump off the table. Well, I think you've got to go for the left-hand corner pocket cut. Surely, is he cutting into the right? Well, the pace he'll play this at, the cue ball's running. Danger of the scratch off this one if he gets it. He's overcut it. Cue ball avoids the scratch. But Stub won't be missing this one, so this is going to take him to the hill. And now the break goes back to Senny. Well, Stub may well jump this as well. A good distance for the jump shot to make the cut in the 1. Of course, you just don't know where the cue ball's going to end up. So now he's in trouble. Well, he's lining up the long jump in this. This is asking a lot. Hang on there, hit the wrong button. Yeah, that was never on at that distance. Well, how many times has Senny had chances to run a table and he's failed more than most, or he's failed in most of them when asked to do this. It's going to be a 4 ball onto the 6 as a combo, I would think. Well, he's trying to find a gap, and that's not bad. 4 ball clearly must go past the 5 comfortably. Well, it does, but he's got so much angle on the 4 that he can't hold for the 5. And now Senny's going to be buried behind the 8 and 5. Well, no. Stubbs deciding he's going to go for it when clearly a simple safety shot was the order of the day here. Now, if Stubb was playing at anybody else, there's no way he'd have went for that. It's the fact that he has this lead. He doesn't rate that Senny's going to do anything in this rack, and he's going for shots he shouldn't be. And especially when Senny proves the point by playing a stupid shot like that in the 4. I mean, that's it. It's all over, apart from Stubb banging the 5 when he didn't need to. He just needed to roll the 5 in. He had a shot in the 6, no problem. And he's got away with it. And now he's going to have to call the kick shot in the 5. Well, this is an untidy mess, the end of this match. He sneaked in behind the 10. And it's another... I don't know whether he can make the angle to make the kick on that 6 off this side rail here. Let's have a look. He's going to have to try and play this with inside right English to straighten the cue ball off the rail. Yep, played it very well. Oh, I think we're past caring whether he called it or not. So 3 balls to take Stubb into round 3. And I think that the level of his opponent for round 3 may well take a bit of a jump. I don't know, I haven't checked the bracket to see who he's set to play, but we'll have a look in a minute. So Stubb wins the match by 14 racks to 7. And I think Senny did well actually getting 7 racks, to be honest. He could have had a lot more. So, quick look in. Where the hell's the bracket went to? Let's have a look if I can get this bloody thing to work. Where's my mouse went to? Right, so Stubbs through to round 3. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got here. Well, we have Spectre Dawn playing Z Karaoke. Now, I don't know, they've still to arrange their match. So they've got until the weekend, I think, to arrange the match. And I think in between those two, the favourite's going to be Spectre Dawn. And the winner of that match is going to be playing Xavier X. I don't think I've seen that one play, but I would assume that Spectre Dawn will, if he does what he's expected to do, he will win that match and end up playing Stubb, and then Stubb will have his problems to deal with in that match. So the odds are very likely that Spectre Dawn will come through. There's a big assumption to be made there, with the greatest of respect to the other two players, but it's looking likely, fairly likely, that Stubb will be playing Spectre Dawn, and that will be his sternest test to get beyond round 3. Now, while we've looked at that, let's have a look further up, and we can see that the Snake Eyes semi-pro match has been arranged for September the 7th at 12 noon, but since that was arranged, semi-pros found out that he ain't going to be able to make that time, so there may well be an adjustment in the schedule of that match, and it will need to be done fairly quickly, provided semi-pro can get a hold of the super admin to administer that. In the meantime, there's not any other matches scheduled. Let's have a look at the one loss side. No, there's really not a lot happening there either. There's no, well, there's one fixture, and that's between Larry and Marcellus, and again, Larry, after getting a pounding off Bedhead, is still going to get a fairly tough test against Marcellus as well. So Larry's not going to get it easy in the one loss side. He's going to have to, well, let's be honest, he's going to have to get a heck of a lot more luck than what he got in the match against Bedhead. He got absolutely nothing. He got no running, and well, he just made too many mistakes against Bedhead, and that's why he ended up in that heavy defeat. So there's a lot to happen in the one loss side. That's really, as far as I can see, the only match that's actually bracketed up. The rest of them are all waiting on either all the players coming through from the one loss side. So nothing else happening. So until we meet again, folks, thanks for your company. You're all probably going to bed anyway. So until next time, I will bid you good night, and we will see you again soon. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.